guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is The Gist with Issa and Grace. I love that we do that now.
It's been a while since it's just been the two of us.
That's true. It has been. We've been. Hey, we can make it if we try.
Hey.
Just the two of us.
Hey.
I'm the next Beyonce, guys. Obviously, my album will be
Are you gonna
coming
go
out.
audition for Making the Band?
Oh yeah,
Today.
I heard about that. No, I'm
It
not.
is today.
Did you not just hear me? Did you hear my voice?
She said she was Beyonce, so that's why I told her that she think I'm doing something.
But I don't know. I feel like everything should be canceled because of Corona.
That is true. That is.
I mean, what didn't the mayor
crowds.
say? Oh, go everyone wash your hands and go to the rodeo. And I'm like, people should not go to the rodeo.
That's true.
I was like, meeting in such a packed space.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna call you Corona DeVille, by the way.
Okay.
Because if you were in Dalmatian print, it would make sense. And also, you're kind of sick a little bit
You
from
have to say it
allergies.
with an African accent. Corona David.
I don't have that accent.
Corona David.
Corona DeVille. That sounds so tryhardish. I can't do it. Ignore me.
No.
But yeah, I think Corona DeVille. You just have this look.
Yeah, I have this.
You have this look. Wait, let me see your outfit. Let me see. Stand up. Let me see.
I mean.
Hey.
Abs
Okay,
all
I see these abs. You been going to the
Abs
gym every day?
Yeah.
You that doesn't have job. Hmm? Wait, actually, what's going on with you? Are you quarantined from? Are you going to the hospital? Oh my God, I can't speak. Because you're a nurse. What's the effect on that with coronavirus?
So, in the hospital setting, nothing has really changed because the same things that y'all are implementing, like outside of the hospital, we implement every single day. There's the standard precautions. So, standard precaution, hand washing. Like as soon as you get onto the unit, you have to scrub in, and you have to there's hand sanitizer outside every patient's door. You have your gloves, you have your masks, and then you have your gown based off of whatever the disease process is of the patient. And so with every illness, there is that standard precaution that's taken. And so now that standard precaution is now applied outside the hospital setting.
Okay.
And my friend, she was like, this is a conspiracy theory. The coronavirus is a conspiracy theory in order to make people cleaner. And I was like, that's actually plausible. I could actually see that.
I mean,
because
maybe, but people are dying from it, so it's like it's more real. But I get it. People will be more like conscious of that because I know people that go to the restroom, they don't wash their hands.
Literally.
And so I hope this challenges them to do those things.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like people are selfish, you know. People are selfish at heart. Like you want to do what you want to do,
right?
And now that you see how interconnected what you do
affects other people
and how much it affects other people, go out, do what you want to do. You're gonna get sick.
True. Wait, but switching topics. I'm like my mind is everywhere. But you didn't ask me about my outfit, Grace. You didn't ask me about my outfit. My outfit
the
is.
thing is because you said Corona the V. I'm not gonna talk anymore. But I'm not gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. I actually like your skirt a lot.
It's literally like it's so short, but it's like I feel like a little princess.
Girl, you look like flamenco.
I feel like a little princess. Oh my gosh.
Tres, cuatro.
Oh, different song.
It's a rap song.
Oh really? Okay, so I'm like changing topics on you like crazy. I'm so sorry. I need to be more smooth. So we have an interesting show for you guys. As you know, it's just us. So we are going to be talking a little bit more about ourselves. We're going to be having a couple of topics that I will be asking Grace some questions.
Oh my goodness.
And then we have story time where I will basically be telling you these annoying things that happen to me. And you guys can tell me what you think. So the first question I have for you, I'm going to pull it up because I actually prepared for this show. Okay, so natural hair versus whatever the opposite of natural hair is. Because I don't even know what is the opposite of natural hair.
Exactly.
Is it relaxed?
There's different perspectives on natural hair. Some people think natural hair is just not dyed, no like products, nothing, just natural.
Right.
And then so like if you have a wig on, they'll be like your hair isn't natural. But your hair
is natural.
So it all
You're just not
depends
sporting
on
the
person.
natural look.
Yeah, it all depends on the person.
But I don't know, I feel like it's like natural hair is like not a fad right now, but it's definitely like this like movement where women are trying to embrace their hair and like go to work with natural hair and afros and things like that.
And
but like for me,
there's so many afros in modeling.
That's true.
I love it.
What's that South Sudanese
Adut?
Yes, ironically I think she's bald. but I just love her look. Yeah, she's like
She was the top model of 2000.
I know. I love her. But like even her look, you know, we're really going forward with this kind of like embracing what black people look like, Africans look like, with afros, without afros, with kinky hair, with like straightened natural hair. But I don't know. I just sometimes I'm like I just want to relax my hair and just like have baby hair that's like sleek and nice, and I don't have to keep getting my braids redone so often. I know, but I'm
like,
lazy and I don't want to do a natural
getting it
hair.
done. It's
And
crazy.
for me, unlike you know you and other people that sport afros, like I don't think I'm ever gonna have an afro. I'm not gonna sport it like that. I'm gonna have braids.
How was
I'm
your
gonna
hair
have wigs or
when it
weaves.
was relaxed?
It was long. Actually, the relaxing.
Was it stiff though?
No, no, my
Was
hair
the
was
wind blow?
nice.
Was it-
My hair was
was it-
nice. What is?
That's your hair. Yeah.
No, actually, the relaxing didn't affect it. It wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, it was natural. It was long. I had long hair with
Okay, yeah.
relaxing my hair. It was nice.
I had long hair. Just kidding.
I know. This is long to me.
No, it is.
But
It
it's
is
yeah,
long.
and I don't know. I did the big chop. I did 2 sets of chops. The second one being last year, and it's just so much work. And I keep cutting it because I have like these pick and drops, so I don't want my hair to go past this level.
Why?
Because I like this look, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like not like me growing my hair, it doesn't sport the look I want right now. Maybe in 3-4 years I want like box braids, but I really never do box braids. Even when I have blonde hair,
That's
I do braids and I drop it. Like pick and drop is what it's called.
Ah.
And so it's like long braids was I don't know.
Wow.
But I respect people that do the natural hair thing,
No,
but I
mean,
just
it's
don't know.
It's a lot of work, and then it's like at first men were like, y'all in the club and yo like edges are sweating out and da da da. I'm like, the same
Who
thing
is
would happen
saying
when
this?
my hair was relaxed. So why are you discriminating?
People love to
against
hate.
how
People
I
love
look
to
now?
hate. I don't know. I feel like also black guys don't really know the amount of work it takes to upkeep natural hair, and then you have your makeup as well, then you have your outfit as well. So it's like it's 3 distinct parts of getting ready. And I mean, you can
And they're
easily
like, "What's
take 2
taking you so
hours.
long, man?"
Yeah. Like I know this girl. If she goes out, like let's just say she'll go out like 11 p.m. She says she starts getting ready around 7.
No way.
She starts getting ready at 7 because she's like, I have to brush, shower, which is fine. And then she's like, I have to get my hair done. And then she'll do stuff to her hair and let it sit. And then while she's letting it sit, then she'll go look for her outfit. Then she'll change a couple times. And then she'll now do her makeup. And then she'll now finish her hair. And it's just like this whole thing. And I'm just like, natural hair is a lot. Because it's not just you have natural hair. I feel like it makes you do things because you have. It's like a whole lifestyle
Oh
now.
no!
Like you have
absolutely.
an evening routine.
Because you have to, and the thing is, product-wise, you don't know what products work with your hair. You have to go and try all these other products, learn about high porosity versus low porosity
Right.
hair, and then like making sure that the conditioner isn't. You know, like with conditioner, like you put it in your hair, and your hair is like streaky.
Mhm.
You have to make sure like it flows
vibes
through,
with your
and
hair.
like you have to look at all the products. But then again, it makes you take care of yourself more because
That's true.
then you're looking at the products, you're knowing exactly what you're putting in your hair, what works with you, and I don't know why it's so easier. Like in Walmart, it's just a bunch of like shampoos and conditioners,
Right.
but then you're like, none of that's gonna work for me
Right.
because I know my hair.
Right. That's true. That's true.
And then like, baby, you gotta love me at where I want. You know what I'm saying? You gotta love what I got. So
That's true. I mean,
I go through a bit. If you're like relaxed in a
Mhm.
relationship and then you cut your hair off and go natural and they leave, that's on them.
That's true. I mean, the good thing about this is that it's really making you embrace who you are, who you naturally are. And I think that that's the best thing. That's what I love to focus on. And that's why I also went natural, because it was a challenge for me. Because I was like, I don't know, with work and with this. And, you know, even though I had braids and weaves and wigs, it's just a lot more work, you know. But I do love the fact that we don't have to relax our hair. We don't need to have straight hair. And so that I will say is good. But I
what
have
about professionality?
for
Because
me,
on Google, if you look up unprofessional hair, it's a bunch of afros and braids.
I mean, for me, I work in a software company, and there's like maybe 3% black people. Like there's no black people, and they're trying to change that, and that's good. But the thing is, I mean, even with my interview, I came in with braids. You know, like I've always had braids. Sometimes I do weaves, but even when I do weaves, it's very natural, kinky hair. I don't do Brazilian straight. I just don't like it, and I feel like people definitely look at me like who's this black girl, you know, what does she know about software and all this other stuff? And it is much more.
Do you feel like you have to prove
Yes,
yourself?
but that's not even because of it's my hair, it's my look, it's my voice. It's just, you know, I'm tall. It's just a lot of things that I feel like if I was like a dainty white girl, blonde hair, like, you know, maybe it's just easier, yeah. But now it's like this 5'10" tall athletic girl with braids.
Amazon.
Yeah, it's just too. Thanks, girl.
Yes.
But like, yeah, it's a lot more work. I feel like it's a lot more pressure, you know, and also I feel like I'm always representing black people, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't feel like doing that today.
Yeah,
Like, you
it's
guys
a
go do
lot
your research. Google is
pressure,
free.
yeah.
Just spend some time. And people touch my hair all the time, and it's like. It's so annoying. Or if I go to weaves, they're like, "Oh, your hair is so different. I thought it was someone else." I'm like, man,
I don't recognize you.
I
Look at
literally-
my face. Don't look at my hair.
No, and the funny thing is that I had shorter braids and I went to a longer wig, and they were like, "You cut your hair?" And I just looked at them. I said, "This hair is longer. The braids were up here. Now the weave is down here.
How did you
why
do
are you
that
saying
overnight?
cut? It's not. You changed your hairstyle. Just say that. Why are you cutting? It's not cutting
Yes, 'cause
anything.
that's
That's the
all they
only thing they
know.
know.
But now, you see all those white girls wearing the wigs. You see
I mean,
all the white girls with those frontals.
I know.
Like,
I mean, it's
it's weird because y'all made fun of us.
right
before.
for the longest time.
Hairstyle
The
that you are now
longest
rocking
time.
and getting popular. for.
Right. And that's another thing, like, there's a lot of, like, white people that do black, like, indulge in black culture, like, for example, like, Afrobeats dancing. And they're super popular
Culture
on Instagram.
vultures.
And I'm just like, okay, black people have been doing this.
Yeah.
Like, why are you, just because you're a white girl in England, now it's a big deal because you can, like...
Hello guys, I'm gonna show you how to do a little bit of Afrobeat dancing. And
I'm like, I mean, all power to you because the girl that I was watching can dance and everything. And I'm like, wow, you know, that's surprising that white girl can dance like that. Cool. But it's like, you're not any better than a black person because a black person not only does that, originated that whole thing and has been doing that for generations. So,
And just
but anyway,
because you know how to
speaking of,
Senku, leg walk. And they do the same move.
I
over and
know.
over.
Well, speaking of, do you think I was reading an article, do you think the N-word should be used? And I start this topic and now they tell us we have to go on
That's
break.
fine. We'll come back with this after the break. This
Thank
is
you
the
guys.
Gist with Issa and
And
Grace.
Grace on Afrovibes Radio.
Hey,
Guys,
Grace.
on
Hi,
Afrovibes
guys.
Radio. So
We're back.
you should audition because
I'm going after this.
You are?
I want you to come on this outfit.
Oh, I thought it was because of our show. Sit down.
Okay.
Okay, so we had the second question I wanted to ask. I don't even know if we'll have time for this story time. Is do you think that everyone should be using the N-word still? So I know this has been a discussion for like forever, but now with music and just like more people just jumping on the bandwagon of like African and not even African, sorry, just black culture in general.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I feel
It's
like
on TikTok. Little white kids.
Really?
Little white kids, little Hispanic kids, little Asian kids, little Indian kids are on TikTok saying the N-words. Because this is the thing, on TikTok you have a song or you have a dance in the trends. Like the Renegade,
right.
that was trending.
Mhm.
And so if there's a song and it has an N-word in it, that'll trend. And that with that trend, like you have them lip singing the song.
Mhm.
And they're just saying the word. And sometimes it's them and then they'll have their black friends there and they'll just be letting them say it. And I'm like,
And that's the thing, like nowadays with these little kids, I don't even, not that I don't blame them, but I see that there's no one that's told them, hey, this word means this. This is this is how this
They
word
know it's
originated.
bad.
They know it's bad, but they just like what you were saying, like the black people that are around them don't even give any importance to, hey, don't say that word. You know, why are you saying that kind of word? Or why are you even thinking that you're able to get into that area? This is not your area. You are over here, and we are in that area. And I don't know, I just feel like there's just been now a condition where people just let it happen and you can say it and it's part of the song and it's kind of being distilled now, you know, and people don't really, I don't know, before it was such a big deal. Like,
I mean,
and
but
one
people are
rapper who has still to this day has not said it is Eminem, right? And he just refuses to say that word because he just knows it's not his, it's not his place. And I don't know, with these like youngins that are coming up now, who are not black, it's like they have it in their songs, and it's catchy and it's cool and everything. But I sit back and I'm like, why are you're already in this culture and now you're even disrespecting us, and we're allowing it to happen.
And so and not only on them, but that further diminishes
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the Bible says the power of life and death comes from the tongue. And
wow.
so,
Pastor Grace.
Pastor Grace, father, my father, if you are watching, I just said a Bible verse. Anyway,
Would your dad approve of your outfit?
He would approve of me being fit. Hello, my fellow man. Just goes into a Obama accent. That's how you get out of thing. Just goes into a Obama accent. Everybody laugh. No, but I was speaking to my mentor, and she was telling me about this interview with Maya Angelou and Dave Chappelle, the comedian, on Iconoclast. And she was discussing the use of the N-word. And her thing is, she's like, words have life.
This is Maya Angelou, your therapist?
Maya Angelou,
okay.
yeah. She's like, words have life, words have meaning. They're in the upholstery, they're in the air, and then they go into my hair and finally my body.
I love how she speaks.
It's so soft. Anyway, so she was saying that because I mean, Dave Chappelle, comedian, like we say the N-word all the time, and even comedians that don't curse, they still say the N-word because it makes people laugh.
Yeah, and it's like that. Like not comical, but they're jovial. Because if it's really hard. You're a comedian. It's really hard. I feel like to tell a joke if you don't curse. Like it's just not. It doesn't hit as hard, you know. So
and so some people use like curse words and the N words as a punchline. Get better jokes.
Yeah, that's real weak. Even like when you like songs where they end every line with like it's like alright. I don't know. So wait, so
you can't rhyme anything else.
I mean, people need to make their way, okay, Grace? Let them live.
It's about intention. Anyway, so she was saying, like, if I go to the pharmacy and I get a bottle of poison and it has the skull and the bones on it, so you know with that label that on the outside that is poison, the contents on the inside, you know, is poison, and that has a negative effect.
Right.
If I take that poison and I pour it into a water bottle and it's clear, it's still poison. It's still, even though on the outside it doesn't have that label, you've changed the label now, but you're so people with the argument that people are trying to change the meaning of the N-word.
Got you.
So it's, you put a different label on it, but it still has the same thing.
It's still because I mean, some people say, oh, if I use that word, you know, I'm empowering, or it's more of empowerment because I'm taking a word that originally was something negative to us or to the black community, and now I'm rebranding it. So changing that label and that container. You know, for that analogy, and I'm rebranding it so that it means something else. You know, I'm taking a word that was so negative and just like thrown on us, and now I'm saying, you know what, we are this, but we are what you said this is not really what it is. We are better than, and so you know, you're making it better, but then other people are like, you know what, no, that word is what it means. Don't use that word. We are not that. So just separate yourself from that. So it's this continuous argument, and I love that analogy. Actually, I've never heard that analogy, but it's really true. If something is what it is, if something is poison, if something is negative, rebranding or putting in a different container, it doesn't change the fact that it is still bad. It's still,
and it's like you want to teach everybody like to rebrand this.
And that's the thing, I like
what this means.
Right, and I like that she was saying Dave Chappelle, who's a black guy, not only a black successful guy, not only a black successful guy, a comedian as well, who in that arena is okay to be, you know, just go past the lines and, you know, push those boundaries. And so she really took a good candidate, a good person for this argument.
It was like she was on the couch and he was sitting on the floor, and she was just like, look, Dave Chappelle. I was like, oh, this is so beautiful.
I love Maya Angelou. No, that's a good point. I mean, I guess we'll start to see, maybe there'll be a movement, you know, where people will kind of start to renounce that and like separate themselves. But I don't see it. I don't see it because we've never, as a black community, fully endorsed it and been like, you know what, we're not doing it.
And as long as we're divided, how are we gonna have a combined front?
That's true. We'll see. Okay, so I have a story time, kind of. So this Thursday, I finished work. It's been a busy couple of days, and I was rushing. I had a speaking engagement, right? I was speaking to a group.
The masses.
To the masses. Well, it was 100 people, and I was supposed to talk to them about mental health and just like, you know, my story and more of empowerment. And it was I'm in a lower income community. And so I was preparing, you know, Wednesday night, I'd done all my preparations. I was really amped for it. This was something that I wanted to do. And then Thursday came, the day of the event. I had a bunch of stuff for work. I got through all that. I was pumped. I was like, okay, you know what? End the day well. I got into my car. I typed in the name of the address. No, I typed in the name of the school that was being oh my God, I can't speak today. It was located, the venue.
Yeah, that was being located in the venue.
Yeah, I typed in the name of the school, and I was going, you know, it was like 5 something. I was supposed to speak at 6 something. I had so much time. And I was going, I was on the phone, and I was, okay, let me go. And then something just told me, let me just look at the actual address. Because they'd emailed it to me, and I was like, okay, you know, I just typed in the name of the school. So I looked at the name of the actual address on the email, and it wasn't the name. I had to recognize it on my phone. You know, when you click on the name and you see the address, it's small. And I was like, that doesn't seem like the same street. So then I went back and I typed in the name, and then I realized that there was the school I was going to. There's 2 schools with the same name.
Wow.
And I just so happened to be going to the wrong school.
Oh my gosh.
So I finally put in the right address. And it was it told me that I would be there in an hour and 20 minutes. Because it was like 5 something. Wow. I was going on the east, and it was supposed to be on the west.
5. Oh my god.
And this was like a big deal. Yeah, and this speech I was going to be giving was to a lot of different people. I was going to record it. It was going to be like one of my debut stuff. And it was a big, so I sat there, and the amount of sadness and disappointment I felt in the midst of all this traffic. And I know, like, oh, why don't you just get over it? It's okay, you know, just call them and everything. But I just felt so defeated because I was like, I was looking forward to it. I had my mind on it. I was prepared for it. I was driving on my way. Like, I amped myself up for this. I've been talking to the director. She had told me, like, you know, we're trying to get these kinds of people. There's a big turnout because it's been going on for like 2 hours before then. I was the last speaker. Okay. And I just felt so embarrassed as well because I was going on behalf of another organization. So then I was like, oh, this girl just didn't come, and then she's just wasting our time. Very unprofessional. I'm canceling, you know, an hour before I'm supposed to speak. Not even an hour before the event starts. So there's no way they can have a fill-in for me. Yeah. And I just felt very embarrassed. I felt like I should have just done a better job, you know, looking at the address. Like, it was such a small thing, but it became such a big. I started not crying, but just internally just beating myself up. I was like, you've done so much for this. You couldn't even find the place. Yeah. And I can't even recover. So I finally called the organization, let them know. They called the director and other people that were organizing it and let them know. And it was just I did a U-turn, and I was just really sad. Yeah. And I called one of my friends. I was on the phone with him, and I called him back because I was like, I'm gonna get off the phone, you know, let me prepare for my speech as I'm driving, let me get in the mode. So I called him back, and I was like, well, it looks like I'm not gonna be going, and I told him why. And you know, one thing that he was saying was, he encouraged me from the beginning. He's like, it's okay, you know, you have other speeches, you have other things to do, you know, maybe you're not even supposed to go there, maybe it wasn't even God's plan for you to even reach that destination. And you know, one thing that he said was, he was like, man proposes and God disposes. And that just stuck with me because my mom and dad used to say that. Oh. And something with me is that when I'm fixated on something, it is very hard for me to get me out of that. I plan so much, and it destroys me when my plan doesn't work.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know? And so when he said that, I was quiet. He even thought, he was like, oh, I'm not helping you. Like, are you okay now? You better, like, and he didn't even realize that just hit home. Yeah. Because even though, like, this is something I want to do, this is, and I was so prepared for it, and it was just such a small mistake. It wasn't that they canceled, or I was running late even. It was that I couldn't even go because I didn't look at the address. You know, I didn't bother to see that there was 2 schools. And when he said that, he said, man proposes and God disposes. I just sat there in my car, and I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I finally let it go. And I don't know, I wanted to bring that up because I feel like we are always trying to plan and do this, especially young people like us. We want so many things to happen, like we're always doing multiple things. Right, and it's like you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be going, what God has in store for you. And I don't know, it was just really, there was nowhere for me to go, right? And I just sat there, and he was talking, and I just sat there, and it just sinked into my mental, you know, and it revived me. Because not only did he say it, my dad has been saying this. You can't fixate on things. You can't. So when I got home, I took a shower, I settled in, and I was just like, you know what, this happens for a reason. You know, I need to make sure that I'm not going to be always trying to have it my way, always having it my way, because this is something that would have been great if I went and I did my speech. You know, maybe I would have met someone, maybe I would have done something, maybe, you know, propelled me in this motivational speaking. Maybe it wouldn't have. You know, maybe something else would have happened. So, I don't know. It was just something that I was really happy, and I just wanted to share with you guys.
No, I mean,
know.
situations like that, so many times where you have your plans and they don't come up to par, and you're just like, what am I even doing? And
Right.
It's so disappointing, and that's why mental health is like a really big thing,
Right.
because you're like in this space of depression.
Right.
It can be depressing,
Mhm.
just this funk, and like nothing can get you out of it, and it's debilitating, and like you just want to stay in bed and not do
Right.
anything. And so I just feel like at this point in my life, I'm not gonna care about my plans, because I know whatever God wants to happen for me will happen for me. So
No, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's so hard because we're in this culture where we're young. Everyone wants to be like go-getters. Everyone wants to be an artist, a producer, a
Everyone wants
dancer.
to be
You're
Instagram
going for like this audition, right, to sing. So
Yeah.
you know, everyone has, and then there's a professional. There's also the corporate side of things. You know,
Yeah.
like for me, I'm in software. I want to
Moving
climb
up.
up. Yeah, I want to climb up in the corporate ladder. So
401k
you have
company.
this. You have this plan for yourself, that where you see yourself, and you know, even people, like I want to be surrounded by these people. I want to have these kinds of friends. I want to drive this kind of car. I want to live in this area. I want to, you know, have this kind of house or whatever. You know, I want to have these kinds of lashes. Like we're in a society where we're able to almost get what we want. You know, we're young. We can look at stuff online. We can get it. We
So
can
much
order it.
opportunity.
Yeah, it's like you're able to get what you want.
what you want.
But sometimes, and so sometimes you're not.
Yeah.
And we don't have that mindset, or I didn't have that mindset, where, you know what, this may not be what I should have. God may have something else in store. And so when he said that, you know, man proposes and God disposes, it's like, okay, you know what, like, it's not a failure. It's not something that it's a miss or I'm lacking. It's something that, you know, instead of going this way, just took a curve.
Yeah, just make a little U-turn.
A U-turn. Well, U-turn or even a left turn or a right turn, you know? So, yeah, I feel like sometimes we get so fixated, and it depresses us, you know, little d. It depresses us, and it's something that, you know, I don't know if you guys, you know, have felt this way, but you just feel like, okay, this should have happened. Why didn't it happen? Why didn't it happen to me? You know, and it's like, you know what, fine. It's all right. This will happen, however it will happen. If it didn't happen, it shouldn't have happened. You know?
And like how you want to grow, there's still a beauty and a security in anonymity.
Right.
So,
I like that.
A lot of people feel because they're anonymous that they're not valued. And just because you're anonymous doesn't mean that you're not valued, doesn't mean that you're not doing the same thing that you see someone with 50K followers on Instagram doing.
Right. And good that you said the followers, because even though people say, oh, social media is not a big deal, like, don't be worried about your followers, everyone looks at that.
Likes don't equal dollars.
And everyone looks at that, and that's, social media is such a tricky thing. You know, I think last year, maybe 9 months out of the year, I was off of social media, and it was hard because I wouldn't be up to date with, like, you know, the latest memes
Yeah.
and things that are trending.
Yeah.
But
Did you see this video?
Oh my! I was like, no, I haven't.
You got a dollar?
And it was very liberating, where I wasn't judging myself off the responses of others. And that's one thing that I'm trying not to, now that I'm back on social media for the radio and all this stuff. It's like, man, it's so easy to seep into that, you know, and judge yourself based on if someone liked it and someone didn't like it, and how many comments did I get, or, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what, all that stuff doesn't matter. It's really who you are and what you think of yourself, you know, and the small group of friends you have, because even if you have a lot of friends, you really don't. You just think you do. You have a small group of friends, and those people and some family
And the
members.
thing is, like,
is
the
all that
friends that
matters.
like really care about you.
Yeah. And I don't know, I just feel like, you know, always you know, you guys know me, and mental health is like, I'm such a big proponent for it, but like, just sitting there in that car and not being able to leave, you know, just sitting there, I was just like, I couldn't escape it. I was like, you know what, this is okay. Things don't work out. And so that really helped me throughout the rest of my week and into the weekend. It's like, I'm really trying to keep that. That's my mantra right now. Things may not work out, but they may not work out as for me, as I thought it would, but it doesn't mean that things didn't work out. You know, so.
That's it, guys. Things are gonna be okay.
Right?
This has been The Gist with
with
Issa
Issa and Grace.
Grace.
And next week we'll do our Black accomplishment.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
guys.
tuning in,
You can follow me on Instagram. Speaking of Life of Isa, so Life of YSAA.
You don't need to follow me. Please follow me. Grace_Africa on Instagram.
Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the Just with Isa and Grace on Afro Vibes Radio.